Consistent errors that writers make. The first thing is to use commas. Serial, S-E-R-I-A-L. Another place to use commas is after an introductory phrase. It is not a good idea to start your sentences with the word to, T-O, or the word and, A-N-D. If you happen to interview someone, make sure that you put the name of the person, you write them out like this, 1920s, with an apostrophe. That is not correct. Punctuation, when you have quotes, if you're quoting somebody, if you have a period, an exclamation point, it always goes inside. Another thing that we see a lot is not giving full information in URLs. Another thing that writers do a lot is to split infinitives. Another thing that writers do is not italicize book and magazine titles. We look for words modifying a noun to be hyphenated. Another thing that people do a lot is to say which when they mean that. Another thing that people do a lot is to say loose, L-O-O-S-E, like when something doesn't fit right, when they mean lose. Another thing that people do a lot is not to use section headings. Another thing that always happens in term papers is people don't use its, I-T apostrophe S, and its, I-T-S correctly. Do not use repeated words. A lot of writers will say the same adjective over and over again. Alright, you want to make sure that your word usage is correct. Okay, you want to vary your sentence structure. This is a really important tip. You want to use whole sentences, not fragments. I mentioned that you want to put the names of authors of your source material in your development section.
10-page paper which is going to have a development section which is like maybe 7 to 8 pages. Rule of thumb, how many quotes?
Very few. I'd say a maximum of 3 to 4. That's a maximum. If you just have 2 elements in a sentence, you don't need a comma. Okay, make sure that your sentences make sense. One thing I do want to mention to you are sources. The elements of style. The Chicago Manual of Style.